Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating book, one that's been around for ages but still resonates. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
It really has. A classic for a reason.
Right, and the title might make you think it's purely about making money, getting rich financially.
Which is part of it, sure, but it's much broader than that.
Exactly. We're talking about a whole philosophy for achieving, well, riches in a bigger sense, fulfillment, purpose, real lasting success.
And we've been looking at some analyses of it, thinking about where it came from.
Yeah, like the fact it was written during the Great Depression. Talk about needing a positive mindset then.
Absolutely. And it wasn't just Hill's ideas off the top of his head. He based it on interviews with, over 500 successful people?
Yeah, the big names, Ford, Edison, Carnegie, incredible access.
He really studied what made them successful, what they had in common.
So our mission today for this deep dive is basically to unpack those core principles from Think and Grow Rich.
And figure out how they actually apply to you, listening right now. How can you use these ideas today?
Without getting bogged down, making it practical.
That's the goal, making it actionable.
Okay, let's dive in. First up, Hill talks about desire, but it's not just like, oh, I'd like that.
No, he uses the term burning desire. It's much more intense.
So what is the difference? Why does it have to be burning?
Well, think of it like a wish is passive, right? It's a preference. A burning desire is active. It's a driving force.
Okay.
It's this deep emotional commitment that kind of focuses your mind. You start seeing opportunities you wouldn't otherwise notice. It fuels you.
Okay. Like the example of Arnold Schwarzenegger wanting to be Mr. Olympia.
Exactly. It wasn't just a hobby. It was like his entire world. He visualized it constantly, trained like crazy.
It's an obsession, but a focused one.
A very purposeful obsession. So for you listening, it shifts the question from, say, I'd like to get promoted, to how badly do I want this specific outcome?
And Hill suggests writing down your goals daily. Is that about keeping the fire stoked?
Precisely. Writing it down makes it concrete. It reinforces it in your conscious mind and, importantly, starts embedding it in your subconscious. It keeps that desire front and center.
Makes sense. Okay, next principle, faith. Hill's big quote here is, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
And sometimes it sounds a bit, magical.
A little bit. But the analysis we looked at connects it to, modern neuroscience. How does belief actually do anything?
And that's fascinating. Our beliefs act almost like filters. If you truly believe something's possible, your brain literally starts searching for ways to make it happen. It looks for supporting evidence.
Like confirmation bias?
Sort of, yeah. And it influences your focus, that part of your brain called the reticular activating system. You notice things aligned with your beliefs.
Okay.
Think about the placebo effect, right? People get better just believing they're getting medicine. Belief causes real, measurable changes.
Wow, okay. The example of Sarah Blakely, the Spanx founder, fits here then.
Totally. No experience, tons of rejections, but she just believed in her idea relentlessly.
That inner conviction kept her going against all odds.
Exactly. So the question for you becomes, what are the dominant beliefs you're running in your head every day? Are they empowering you or are they holding you back?
I can't versus I can. Huge difference.
It really is. Identifying and consciously shifting those limiting beliefs is crucial.
All right, moving on to autosuggestion. Sounds a bit technical, the mind's programming language.
Yeah, but the concept is pretty straightforward. It's about consciously feeding your subconscious mind.
How? How do you program your own mind?
Through repetition. Using affirmations, positive statements about your goals, and vivid visualization. Basically, you're telling your subconscious what you want it to accept as true.
Planting seeds, like the source said.
Exactly. Planting the right seeds in that fertile ground of the subconscious. Over time, you can override old negative patterns.
And the specific technique mentioned, standing in front of a mirror, stating goals in the present tense, like, I'm earning X amount. Why the present tense? Why the mirror?
The present tense is key because your subconscious responds best to what it perceives as already happening. It bypasses the doubting conscious mind.
Huh, interesting.
And the mirror, seeing yourself say it,
Yeah.
hearing yourself declare it with conviction, it adds emotional weight. It makes it feel more real, builds that belief we just talked about.
So you become your own hypnotist, kind of, instead of your own worst critic.
That's a great way to put it. We're often doing the opposite, aren't we? Reinforcing doubts. Autosuggestion flips that script.
Okay, this makes sense. Next, specialized knowledge. The idea that applied wisdom wins. This isn't just about being a trivia buff, right?
Not at all. Hill makes a really important distinction between general knowledge, knowing a little about a lot, and specialized knowledge.
Which is?
Deep, focused knowledge and skills directly related to your specific goal or purpose. It's not just knowing stuff. It's knowing the right stuff and knowing how to use it.
Gotcha. Like Elon Musk. He doesn't know everything, but he dives incredibly deep into the specific knowledge needed for SpaceX or Tesla.
Exactly. He acquires highly specialized knowledge rapidly and then applies it relentlessly. That's the key application.
So the challenge to identify one key skill to master this year, that's about focusing your learning.
Precisely. Moving from just absorbing information passively to actively seeking out and mastering the knowledge that will actually move you towards your big goals.
Makes sense. Okay, principle 5, imagination. Hill called it the workshop of the mind.
Yeah, and he even said it was more important than intelligence, which is pretty bold.
It really is. Why would he think that?
Well, intelligence often deals with what already is, right? Analyzing, understanding existing facts. Imagination is about creating what isn't yet.
Seeing possibilities.
Exactly. It's the source of all innovation, all invention. Without imagination, we'd just be repeating the past.
The Steve Jobs and iPhone example is perfect here. It wasn't just improving a phone, it was imagining a totally new thing.
A revolutionary leap, born from imagination.
And the idea that maybe we're not dreaming too big, but acting too small. That hits home.
It's a powerful reframe, isn't it? Encourage yourself to imagine boldly, but then, and this is crucial, back it up with consistent, even small actions.
Right. Imagination needs action. Got it. Next, persistence. Seems obvious, but maybe it's not so simple.
It sounds simple, don't quit. But it's probably where most people falter. Hill found it was a defining trait of all the super successful people he studied.
They just didn't give up.
No matter what. They faced failure, setbacks, criticism, but they kept going.
Like Walt Disney getting fired for lacking imagination? That's ironic.
Hilariously ironic. And then facing hundreds of rejections for Disneyland funding.
It's hard to fathom given what Disney became. It shows failure isn't always final.
Not at all. And that idea that breakthroughs often come right after breakdowns, that's vital to remember when you're struggling. Keep pushing.
Yeah, resilience is key. Okay, the mastermind. Power in collective brains. This isn't just networking happy hour, is it?
Definitely not. A mastermind group, in Hill's sense, is a small, carefully chosen group of people you ally with.
What for?
For mutual support, brainstorming, accountability. People who share a similar drive but bring different skills and perspectives. It's about creating synergy.
Like Benjamin Franklin's Gento Club back in the day.
Exactly. Or modern think tanks, advisory boards. The idea is that the collective intelligence and energy of the group is far greater than the sum of its parts.
So you get challenged, supported, new ideas spark.
Precisely. It helps you see blind spots, solve problems faster. So the question for you listening is, who's in your inner circle? Are they lifting you up, challenging you?
Good question. Surrounding yourself intentionally.
Very intentionally. It makes a huge difference.
Okay, final principle, decision. Wealth favors the decisive. What does that mean exactly?
It means successful people tend to make decisions quickly and firmly. They don't endlessly waffle or procrastinate.
But what if it's the wrong decision?
They might change it later if new facts emerge. But they understand that indecision is often worse. It breeds doubt, kills momentum.
Ah, right. Action versus inaction.
Exactly. Get moving. The source mentioned Jeff Bezos' regret minimization framework.
Oh, yeah. Asking, will I regret not doing this when I'm 80?
Right. It cuts through short-term fear and focuses on the long game. It helps you make bolder choices.
So the takeaway is decide faster, act bolder, build confidence through acting.
Yes. Confidence often follows action, not the other way around. Making decisions, even small ones, builds that muscle and moves you forward.
So looking back at all these, desire, faith, autosuggestion, knowledge, imagination, persistence, mastermind, decision, it really paints a picture that Think and Grow Rich is about way more than just money.
Absolutely. It's fundamentally about transforming your inner world, your thoughts, your beliefs, your habits, getting your internal house in order.
And the riches, financial or otherwise, are kind of the natural outcome of that inner work.
That's exactly Hill's point. Become the type of person who attracts success in whatever form matters to you by mastering your own mind and actions.
So the core message is really change your thinking, change your life.
Pretty much. It puts the power and the responsibility squarely back on you.
It's empowering, definitely. Okay, so For you listening, we want to make this really practical. We've got a challenge for you today, pulled straight from the practices Hill recommends.
Yeah, this is about taking these ideas off the page and putting them into practice starting now.
Okay, here it is, your challenge. First, take a few minutes today, really think, and write down your definite major purpose. What's that one big thing you're aiming for?
Get clear on that first.
Second, write a burning desire statement. Why must you achieve this? Get emotional, dig deep into your why.
Make it compelling to you.
Third, write a short positive affirmation in the present tense as if you've already achieved that purpose. I am.
Visualize it, feel it.
Fourth, identify just one daily habit, something you can start today that demonstrates your commitment to that purpose.
Something tangible you will do.
And finally, the most crucial part, commit to reading, or better yet, saying aloud your purpose statement, your desire statement, and your affirmation every morning and every night.
That repetition is key. That's the auto-suggestion engine, fueling the desire and faith. It keeps you aligned.
It's about consciously directing your energy every single day. Consider that daily habit your first step in actively growing rich in the truest sense.
You got it.
You know, Napoleon Hill essentially gave us a roadmap, a kind of manual for living more powerfully, more intentionally.
It really is a blueprint.
Think of your mind like a garden. This book, these principles, they're like the seeds.
Code seeds.
But you are the gardener. You have to do the planting, the watering, the weeding, the cultivation.
And that consistent effort is what leads to the harvest.
Absolutely. So we'll leave you with one final thought to mull over, last thing to really chew on. What single belief, if you truly fully embraced it, acted as if it were 100% true right now, what single belief could most dramatically reshape your reality? Think about that. Thanks for joining us on the Tech Dive.